Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chun. Y'all, we just gonna get into these hot topics, okay? This is Nakia Holmes. Nakia Holmes used to be the co-owner of Turkey Leg Hut in Houston, Texas. And she owned it with her ex-husband, Lynn. And when she told him he couldn't come back there and got papers that he couldn't come back there, he went across the street and opened Oyster Hut, right? But now she no longer has it because of financial situations. But that's the backstory about her. Child, she was arrested Wednesday because she is aiding and abetting Jonathan Cezanne. Jonathan is, I think that's how you say his name. He is her current man. The police has seen him jumping the fence behind her house. When they questioned her about it, she said, I don't know this man. Then she came back and said she was picking up his mama. Now, what he did was he was arrested for aggravated kidnapping. He allegedly had beat his ex-girlfriend with a tire iron and kidnapped her while he was out on bond. Now, she done got arrested because the police had seen him at her home. This girl, I don't know what it is, but it just does not look good for her. This is so sad. Let's keep going. Then, allegedly, Kevin Hart got on Twitter today, and like Clarissa Holmes, honey, he is challenging Cat Williams to a boxing match. He said, let's put up $1 million and whoever wins will be known as the best comedian, something like that. Cat Williams said, I ain't gonna do it. I don't fight women. You, sir, had to wear a dress for Hollywood, and I don't do that. Child, they over there on Twitter going back and forward. What made Kevin get up today and say he just gonna challenge Cat Williams? Has Cat said something here lately about Kevin? We know he's talked about him in the past. But what got into Kevin's mind today to just challenge him to a wrestling match? This is crazy. All I got to say about Tamra Judge is that we don't care what you think, okay? We know that you got some January 6th stuff that you need to take care of. We know who you subscribe to. We don't subscribe to you. So stay out of black folks' business. We don't care nothing about what you think about these housewives. We don't care what you think about Wendy. Leave us alone. Ain't nobody talking about you, and now you want something to talk about. Ain't nobody got in your DMs because if the people in Wendy's neighborhood thought Wendy and them were up to something, how would they know it was fraud or jewelry fraud or whatever? How would they know that? I'm sure she has not had these type of conversations. And it's already bad enough that she live in a neighborhood and she got people reporting to people like you. Mind your business, Tamra. Child, this is my girl. I'm not a lawyer, but baby, she broke down this whole Nicki Minaj, Kenneth Petty situation. It goes back to 2018, I believe, when Kenny and Nicki were in Germany for her one of her concerts, and they got into it with the security guard because a girl had come on stage, and even though she didn't do anything, she did get on stage. Nicki was mad, allegedly threw a shoe at the man. The man has tried to sue them for $500,000. Well, my girl said that they could never get the paper served because Nicki and Kenneth would never come to the door. The processor went to their house. She named like the 18th, the 19th, the 20th, the 21st. Then that didn't work. So then the processor went and hid behind a tree. That's me talking, not her. But she was trying to scope it out from afar. Nicki and them never came. Then one time they went up to the gate because she lives in a gated community with a sign out in front of her yard saying that he is an ex-offender, and had them to call the house. Kenneth answered the phone and said that the processor was out there to bring him some paperwork. They did not answer the door still. So now the man in Germany has gone to the court and said, I want you to seize her home for my money. Right? So that's how we got to Nicki's house being seized. She hasn't talked to this man from 2018. Her and Kenny think if they don't answer the door and accept what the paperwork is, then they don't have to do it. Girl, you need to pay this man his $500,000. That is how all this got started. And that's why her home is being seized. And somebody answer me this. Some of you barbs or people that know, because I'm not sure. I don't think Nicki Minaj is on Jay-Z's label. People were talking about she's on Tidal. Tidal is not a label. It's a streaming service, right? Nicki Minaj says Jay-Z canceled her upcoming album and world tour due to jealousy. How can he do that? Is it possible? I'm asking a question because I really want to know, because she has gone on yet another rant. Girl, somebody said put them Benadryl tacos down. Then I know y'all been seeing my girl Sweet Tea, because she's been taken up for NECA. Because NECA had made a post when she was in Mexico. I don't know if she's still in Mexico or not, but a lot of people were talking about NECA and how she's actually living the life. And Sweet Tea got on the internet and she was like, she understands because, you know, like, some of these women are not living the life that they say that they're living. You know, she was like, I work. I'm a government employee. I work and you know, do television. And she said sometimes these people are just jealous and they're not living their normal life. She says she understands being someone new to the show for a season or two and how NECA was treated. But how do y'all feel about it? Because I know a lot of people seem to be really negative about it. But she's just giving her viewpoint of how NECA was treated on the Real Housewives of Potomac, and she was saying how the tables were turned the way Wendy talked about NECA, and now Wendy is in all this mess. What do you think about this? So y'all, Mary J. Blige is going to be in cinemas worldwide November 5th and November 8th, and the movie is called For My Fans. Is this something you're going to be looking forward to? Like, I feel like Mary doesn't complete these new adventures, but I feel like this is going to be complete. Y'all remember when she had that podcast or something like that? She had 50 Cent on one. She had Carisha and Taraji P. Henson on one. And I think she only did 2. It was on BET. Do you remember that? Because I thought that would be fantastic. I enjoyed both of those episodes. And I would love to see Mary do stuff like that more. But is this something you're going to be going to? It's going to be in theaters nationwide November 5th and 8th. Not through, and. So, child, Candace is on her podcast talking about how she has unfollowed Portia before Traitors, right? And she claims that she doesn't watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta, but she is very well aware of what it is. She says she's seen clips. But let's get into what she's talking about.
In a previous episode, I may have said that I wasn't really keeping up with the Atlanta housewife of it all. But of course, I'm very active on socials. I see clips, I see the highlights. And I happen to see something about, and Michael helped me with this, something about Portia sleeping with somebody's husband.
So then she said she was going to give Portia a pass because on cast trips, you know, she said there's just another world. So, you know, you say stuff, right? But then she kept going.
She better be careful before I sleep with her husband. I said, what? Who on God's green, ghetto, racist, ugly earth would ever fix their mouth to use as a threat, as a woman, I'm going to sleep with your husband as...
Child, she said that was crazy. She said, we've seen the perils of Portia's love life and the bowels in which she has come up. She don't like Portia, but she does talk about these housewives a lot on her podcast. Child, and then Mitch McConnell over here need to be trying to get into heaven. He can't even walk by himself anymore. Bye, y'all.